Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about neorealism. We're going to mention what it is, when it was originated, how it differs from classical realism, and most importantly, how rationalism is shown in neorealism. What is neorealism? Neorealism, also known as structural realism, is a theoretical approach in international relations with three main ideas. The first one is that the world is anarchic, meaning there are no rules. Second one, that states are sovereign units. And the third is that distribution of power is one of the most important aspects of the system. Neorealism's leading figure was Kenneth Waltz, and he explained that the international system is seen through three important levels of analysis: the individual level, focusing on leaders and their decisions; the domestic level, focusing on state structures; and the international level, focusing on the global system of states. Waltz characterized the first two as units and the third as structure. This is also what we've been seeing in class as agency and structure. This being said, this is exactly why the theory is also called structural realism, because it consists of structures and units. Waltz said that this theory cannot explain accidental or unexpected events, because theories deal in repetition. Therefore, by analyzing individual units, you are contradicting neorealism's fundamental principle. Waltz overemphasized the structure at the expense of units. Another way of understanding this is by comparing it to Lego blocks. Let's imagine we're playing with Lego blocks, and we have two important things: the structure, which is how the Legos are stacked and connected, and the units, which is the individual Lego pieces. Neorealism focuses on the structure, on how Legos are stacked, or how countries interact with each other. This theory is good at explaining general rules, but not unexpected surprises. What we're trying to say is that Waltz focused too much on the structure, and he missed some important details about the individual Lego pieces, like how internal politics also affect the world, and this is why neorealism fails to predict what actually happens. Origin of neorealism. It emerged in the early 1980s, with the biggest contributor known as Kenneth Waltz. He published a landmark book called Theory of International Politics in 1979. Here, he mentioned his theory, and it was a new way of thinking, which contrasted with the old and classical realism. This new theory tried to show why fights and wars happened between countries in an international system with no global boss. It was mainly about how the global system influenced results with no inner features of nations interfering. Neorealism, till this day, is a very popular and used theory.
Now I'm going to explain you how does the neorealism differ from the first realism. So the neorealism is different from the classical realism in how it studies international relations. Classical realism focused on things like diplomacy, leaders' decision, and human nature, while the neorealism on the other side looks at the international system as a whole. Kenneth Waltz. Now I'm going to explain how the IR experts have criticized the neorealism in different way. So first, about ignoring the role of institution. The neorealists are not sure if international groups can help countries work together. So they say that global organizations just show how power is divided in the system, but the critics said that the neorealists don't see how important it is for the international bodies to help reduce fights and make countries work together better. So groups like the United Nations have been very important in solving conflicts and have changed how countries behave. Then the neorealism doesn't pay enough attention to how ideas. Finally, how the rationalism is incorporated in the neorealism. So the neorealism incorporates the rationalism as a key in its theoretical framework. The rationalism in neorealism means that states are considered rational. Thank you for listening.